Tin recycling saves an estimated 2,600 kilowatt hours per ton. Steel recycling saves an average of 4,300 kilowatts per ton, or 47% of the energy required to process steel from raw materials. So we're going to start with Tin Can Project. You know, I've showed these before, but I think it's really important to keep it in mind, like with Valentine's coming up, take those tin cans and make them into, I call them gifters. And they're great to put little gifts in. They're great to put candy in. They can be reused over and over and over again. So the reason I'm showing them again, kind of featuring them on, we've had them on Cool to Craft, is I want you to just kind of think again not to throw those away. So the first thing you're going to do is take your can, and when I say it's a special opener, this is my opener. This is the one, and they don't cost very much. You just put it on and just crank it around, crank, crank, crank. And then when you're done, what happens is you don't have that sharp edge. It just comes off. It's a clean edge. The can lid comes off really cool, and you have like this indentation on the can that you can put the Cool to Cast plaster. So that's what I'm going to show you today. This is the can, and here's what I'm using to fill it. I'm using the Cool to Cast plaster. It's a special plaster that has some little fibers in it, so it makes it different than like plaster of Paris. So what I've done is I put it into just a sandwich bag, and I have today, let's see, I think I put a half cup in there, so we're going to use a 1/4 cup of water, and just let me pour some in here. Well, there we go. Now, what I do is I zip it up, and I kind of shake it for a little bit. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, shake, shake. Make sure that it's not in the corners. And actually, the half cup of the Cool to Cast plaster will make quite a bit. I'm going to just cut the end off a little bit. Get rid of it, and then I just let it kind of pour into the can. So it'll do quite a few cans. See how I just let it kind of pour in. And kind of tap it, and then you just let it set up and dry. And I'll show you one here that I have dried. And remember, you can use all kinds of cans. This one happens to even be like a tuna can. Again, it has that little edge on it. And I'm going to use some alcohol inks. You can use anything on it. Oh, we got one that won't open. Let me get another one here. And I'm going to put just a little bit on a piece of wax paper. And from here, I just like to take a brush and just kind of go in it and just kind of put it across and just kind of put it on. And then I kind of spritz it with some rubbing alcohol that I have and just keep putting it on. And I like to start with just kind of some lighter colors first. And just keep adding your color. And then the fun thing about this is to kind of add little sayings with it, with little tiny, I've got some little tiny stamps here that we're going to add to. And spritz it, and that kind of settles the color down. And then, if we take even like a heart, and just use your stamp, I'm using just Ancient Page, and you just kind of ink, put your hearts a couple places. And let's just say today we want to, for Valentine's Day, we just want to say love. And see how easy that is? And you know, you could do this for birthdays, you could do it for Mother's Day, anything to put just a little gift in. And at the same time, all these tin cans are not going into the landfill. And like I said, with all the energy that it saves for the tin and steel, isn't that cool? Just very quick. And then I was trying to find my I. I was going to put I love you. I don't see it there. Then what you do is you can also just cover the sides of the cans with fabric. And remember too that the cool to cast, if you pour it into like candy molds, this is a heart from like a candy mold. And isn't that cool to just kind of give as a gift? I put some yarn around it. And also you can decoupage on it. And this one, wishing you dreams come true. And then it has really cool, just decoupage, just taking some music paper. And these were just out of magazines. They were just pieces that I cut out of the magazines. So, you know, just use your creativity and you can use anything that you have. You don't have to do it the way, this one too, I just wrapped in, when I had some cool to cast on the table on some wax paper and it was a little bit thick, I just rolled it in the cool to cast and then I just did my rubber stamping on top of it. And this one says, I wish you love. There you go. It's a special can opener. It's one this is the one I used. And it doesn't even really say what it is, but it's a special one that just cuts the lid so that it's not sharp. And then you can just put, it doesn't even leave it attached to it. It just leaves it where, that's the one I just poured. It just leaves it where you can put it right back on. Okay, was there any questions that I missed as I was demonstrating? Yeah, be sure on the can opener that you look for one. Like I said, this one was only like $8 or $9. They're not that much. You can get like a big, like an electric one. They're a little bit more, but this one was not very much money.